What's up? It's your boy IZ, and I want to be your favorite rapper. Welcome back to season 2 of my YouTube channel. This season, I'm going to give you more in-depth information about all things Israel, and of course, my commentary on things in the world, and so much more. This first episode is going to be a 2-part series about the making of Melanin Sons and all the wonderful characters who have played a part with me to make it happen. You don't want to miss this. Stay tuned to the end. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. See you in a moment. Peace. I grew up in Wichita, Kansas. I love it here. It ain't the biggest city in the world. We ain't got the most glamorous, buildings or even that much to do. But it's what shaped me. It's what helped me become who I am today. So when you listen to my music, you're hearing a reflection of the people, the culture, and the city itself. And that's why I changed my name to IZ316. These vicious cycles turn us into rivals. It takes a village, so my mindset is tribal. When in the end, it's about genetic survival. We gotta be the people that they speak of in the Bible. These vicious cycles turn us into rivals. When your family gotta eat, you be damn near homicidal. The stress of the city turn us into psychos. Economic slaves being lynched by our FICO. These politicians. What's up, man? Welcome back. Welcome back. Man, it's been a long time. So much has happened since the last time I made a video. Man, you don't know how much I missed y'all. I truly missed it. So I'm excited. If you see me a little bit, I'm excited to just get back to it, man, because this has been great, man. I really enjoy it. So just to get right to it, man, Melanin Sons, my new album, Social Conscious album, man, it's about the experiences of young black males in America and the things that we go through. And although I'm the artist and I wrote it and I picked the beats, whatever, there's so many behind the scenes players and so many stories just for the album to get to this point that I want to share. So we're going to break this down to 2 episodes. In the first episode, I just want to kind of talk about how the album came together and about the importance of staying focused and dedicated to your goal. So about 5 years ago, I was working at T-Mobile, maybe a little more. And I had just released my first solo project, Shine, Surpassing Expectations and All Negativity. And I was super excited. I went to the radio station. I paid for some ads. I paid for them to broadcast live for my album release party. It went well, but it still didn't do what I wanted to do. And I ended up losing money. And I was like really discouraged at this time because I spent so much money into putting the album together, paying for the album release party, and so on and so on. And I just didn't get the results that I wanted. But I was at work, and I was on break, and I get on my phone, and I read XXL. I'm a hip-hop head, so I'm reading XXL, Source, OK Player, things like that, like every day. Well, there's an article that talked about these 2 guys, Warren Shatz and Neil Levine, who were relaunching the classic hip-hop label Penalty Entertainment. Penalty Entertainment had artists like Nori from Drink Champs, Capone Noriega, I believe Little Mo for a while, Joel Ortiz, maybe Crooked Eye, don't quote me on that one. At any rate, I'm looking and I'm like, yo, maybe this is the opportunity I've been looking for. So I reach out and I call the number, and it's Warren Shatz. He has this New York accent. I'm talking to him. He's asking me questions, and I sent him some music. He listened to it. He really didn't tell me whether he liked it or not, at the time. But I was hoping that he was going to hear this. It was going to be like the greatest music he ever heard, and, I'd be on the label. It didn't work out that way. But we did form a wonderful bond. He's one of my mentors. And he actually mixed and mastered the album. Now, Warren is an incredible guy. He's very humble. But, man, he has like #1 hits under his belt. He's worked with some great artists, as well as Neil Levine. Warren had a #1 hit, Turn the Beat Around. I can't sing. That was him, though. He's worked with so many artists. He tells me these stories. He's like, oh, yeah, so I was at the studio with like Dionne Warwick. And I'm like, the Dionne Warwick? They've just been going ham on Twitter. But yeah, and it's fun because he's just so humble. But as a fan, I'm getting to lock in. Neil, and I may be wrong, but I'm like pretty sure I'm not, has a Grammy for Lil Wayne and Fat Joe Lean Back. So when I completed the album and I sent it to them and they're listening to it, I'm really nervous, like, oh, what are these guys gonna say? They're gonna come back and be like, yo, it's the wackest thing ever. Well, it took 5 years of cultivating that relationship with me and Warren before we ever got to the point where we were really working together. And that's part of what I said about believing in yourself. So another person that came into factor around the same time is I went to New York and I was able to meet a guy by the name of June Balloon. I met him. I met a guy named Jake Leachy who was managing Havoc from Mobb Deep at the time. Really good guy. Put me up on a lot of game. Who else? Janelle Abrams. I think it's either Abrams or Abraham. I apologize, Janelle, but her too. And so, they put me up on a lot of game. I made some connections with them. And June has been instrumental in helping bridge the gaps between the power players in the game that he knows. He just calls them friends, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's crazy because there's only 2 degrees of separation, and because of some of the guys I just named, now my degree of separation has just went, the gap has closed. Let me say that. So this last time I'm in New York, I'm at this hip hop love party with June Balloon for Nia Lee. She's a really sweet girl. She was really cool. She was having her album release party. So June walks up to this guy and he's like, yo, Shampoo, this is my man Is. Y'all should link up. So I sit there, I talk to him, and we link up or whatever. Turns out things come full circle because Shampoo is Noriega's manager, and Noriega and Capone used to be on the label with Neil Levine. I'm like, oh wow, this is crazy, right? So as I'm watching Gym Champs, I'm hearing Noriega talk about Shampoo, talk about Neil Levine. I've heard several people mention them, and I'm like, wow, these are guys who's worked with the biggest names in hip hop, and here I am having any association with them. Wonderful guys. Also, so I want to shout out Shampoo, the whole YNVS squad out in New York, and my man General Taylor too. He's been super helpful, helping me get like interviews and different things like that. So to double back a little bit, when I made Melanin Sons, I really wanted to tap into the energy of what Wichita is. Wichita is more of a slow-paced town. I wanted the music to reflect that. So the music is more slow, more melodic, and it kind of reflects the pace at things, that how things move. Like Wichita compared to New York, the tempo is totally different, but I love both. That's why I'm from the Lower West Side. So anyway, when I first sent my album to Warren and he told me how much he was going to charge me to mix and master it, I was like, oh, I'm playing with the big boys now. So I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I'm a man of faith, so I thought about it, I prayed about it. It just so happens I saved some money, I went to casino and won the rest of the money I needed. The rest was history. The other funny thing is I filed my taxes, and this is a true story. I filed my taxes last year, and the Department of Education takes it for student loans. I get a letter in the mail saying because of COVID, they sending it back. So they sent all my money back. And I use that to do some things, to do some promotion, buy Facebook ads, buy IG ads, buy Spotify ads, and pay for promotions, pay for just a lot of different things. So when I came time to get ready to promote and release the album, me, June Balloon, my homeboy AD sat down, and I also talked to General Taylor, whom I met through DigiWax. So shout out to DigiWax, shout out to MP3 Wax too, because both of those helped push Top Down, the first single off of Melanin Sons, to 350,000. So if you've been paying attention, then you already know that in the earlier episode I said that if Melanin Sons didn't do at least 250,000 total stream, I consider it a bust. So imagine how I felt when I did 350,000 on one single. It was so beautiful. The numbers and streams was going up so much that people thought I was cheating. Whatever. Shout out to my other homeboy who's helped me too, which is DJ Suede. DJ Suede, we gonna say from Wichita. We taking him. He from everywhere, but we taking him. You know what I'm saying? He heard the record, help promote it, share with other DJs. And in my last count, I think Top Down ended up playing on like 20-something, 30-something stations, you know what I'm saying? Which is beautiful for an independent artist like me who, you know, doesn't have a record deal or a huge promotion budget. It just goes to show what you can do when you put your mind to it. And so out of all the stations, it was the biggest was, not the biggest, I mean biggest in my mind was my hometown station. So shout out to 93.5 KDGS, I think it is, with Hitman, Carla, Rolls Royce, and the whole staff, man. They played the record for me. It made the top 8 of the 8 in the city. It spun for a while. It was just a beautiful moment. I was trying to catch it so I could put it on social media, and I just couldn't catch it, man. And I was riding around, and I got in the car, and it came on, and it was like the first time that I just got to hear it naturally, if you will. I pull up to like the stoplight, and there's a lady next to me, and she's like singing along with it, and like I just had a surreal moment that, like, at least in that moment, my hard work had paid off. And so that's really important part of the story, is that it paid off. So those are some of the players that really helped me. Again, you know, Warren, Neil, General Taylor, Shampoo, June, AD, who else? My publicist. If I forgot to mention you, it's all love. A special shout out to Brianna Marin, who sung on the hook for Top Down, and the producer Dream Life Beats. This is a multi-platinum producer, man, that made this track for me. He's been so cool. He just made a track on Jeezy's new album and Joey Badass. So your boy been coming up, and that's that part. So stay tuned for part 2 next. I grew up in Wichita, Kansas. I love it here. It ain't the biggest city in the world. We ain't got the most glamorous, you know, buildings or even that much to do. But it's what shaped me. It's what helped me become who I am today. So when you listen to my music, you're hearing a reflection of the people, the culture, and the city itself. And that's why I changed my name to IZ316. These vicious cycles turn us into rivals. It takes a village, so my mindset is tribal. When in the end, it's about genetic survival. We gotta be the people that they speak of in the Bible. These vicious cycles turn us into rivals. When your family gotta eat, you be damn near homicidal. The stress of the city turn us into psychos. Economic slaves being lynched by our FICO. These politicians